Assalamualaikum everyone, I am NIAJ Mahmud and welcome to my Python programming tutorial. I divided this tutorial into three parts. First introduction, second basics and third intermediate. In introduction part we will talk about the history of Python, why we will learn Python, how to set up Python programming environment, and we will code our first program. In basics, we will talk about variable and data types, naming rules, operators, input-output functions and standard library. We will talk about strings, errors. We will learn about conditional logic, loops, and at last we will do some class assignments or projects. In intermediate part, we will talk about what is computational thinking, algorithm and flowchart, data structure, function and file handling, what is object-oriented programming or OOP, and at last we will see some frameworks and libraries. History of Python programming. Python was created by Guido van Rossum in late 90s at CWI, which is situated in Netherlands. He named it after his favorite comedy show, Monty Python's Flying Circus. Why we use Python? We use Python for its readability. It's easy for programmers to read Python code. It's cross-platform. We can use Python in any platform. It's open source. Python's community resources are very large. It's a low-code language. Means programmers have to write fewer codes to make a program run. It's called one-man army, as we can use Python in almost anything, and it's easy to learn. We use Python in making web applications, computing and experimenting, in artificial intelligence, in machine learning. We use Python also in data science, game and app development, in IoT, bioinformatics, cybersecurity and forensics. Now let's start setting up our Python programming environment. We can write our Python programs in interpreter like Google Colab or in IDE like PyCharm. Interpreter interprets the program we write line by line. To code in Google Colab, we have to go to this URL or search in Google Chrome, Google Colab. Google Colab. We have to go to this website and click new textbook. In here we can write our codes. If we click on the play button, it will run the code. Here we can see output 5. And to program in PyCharm, we have to install the PyCharm IDE. We have to go to this URL or search PyCharm. We have to click download. And then select our specifications. Click download. We can see it's downloading here. So we can see it's finished downloading. We will click open. and then run, and it will start installing. We will click next, 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 and install. Now let's write our first hello world program. Open collab, write print first bracket quotation hello world, and then click play button. We can see it printed hello world in the screen. Congratulations, you have written your first program in Python. Variable and data types. What is a variable? When a value of something changes, we call it a variable, like our age, your phone number or roll number, etc. We use variable to store data in computers. For example, if we imagine this box storage inside the computer, and we declare a variable a, then it will allocate a memory inside the computer named a. And then if we assign a with 5, then in the computer memory 5 will be assigned in this allocated memory. And if we change the 5 with 10, it will also change the value of a to 10 inside the memory. We also can declare multiple variables like b equal to 20, c equal to 30. This will allocate memories in the storage named b and c and assign 20 and 30 to these variables. Naming rules. There are some naming rules. If we don't follow the naming rules while declaring any variable, the program will throw errors and won't run. A variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character, and a variable name cannot start with a number. Let's see in program. Again, click in the plus icon. Let's say we have a variable age equal to 30. Print age. This program will print age. We can see it has printed the value of age 30. But if we used any number like 1 2 3, the program won't work and it will give us an error. But if we use an underscore, the program will still run. Here we can see it printed 30 again. Another rule of naming is a variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores, like ABCD and 0123 and underscore. We can't use any dollar sign or hash sign in the variable. Variable names are case sensitive. That means if we write age equal to 30 and age in uppercase age equal to 40. These are two different variables. If we print the value of age, it will print two different values. Here we can see the first value is 30, which is the value of underscore age, and 40, which is the value of uppercase age. A variable name cannot be any of Python's keyword. Means if 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 it's a keyword, but it can't be a variable. Like if I try to declare it as a variable and assign it with a value, it will throw error. It gave us an error. Variable and data types. Data types. For different kinds of data, we have different data types, like int for integer numbers, float for decimal point numbers, bool for boolean statements like true and false, string for string or texts, list, tuple, range, and dictionaries, etc. In Python, we don't have to declare the data types separately. The interpreter automatically knows the type of the data. So if we say n equal to 10 and m equal to 10.5, and we use the type function, type of n, and again print type of m, it will show us the type of these variables. We can see the first one is int type, as it's n equal to 10, it's an integer, and the second one is float, as 10.5 is a decimal point number, it showed us float. We have some operators to run operations in our code, like numeric operators, plus, minus, star for multiplication, slash for division, and percentage for modulus. Comparison operators, equal sign, less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to. Let's see these operators uses in practical. A equal to 10, B equal to 20. Sum equal to A plus B. Subtract equal to A minus B. Division equal to A. Division operator B. Multiplication equal to A. Multiplication operator B. Mod equal to A. Modulus operator B. Now let's print this. Print A sum, print sub, print div, print mul, print mod. Now if we click run, we can see the results of these calculations. Sum equal to 30, subtraction equal to minus 10, division equal to 0.5, multiplication equal to 200, and modulus equal to 10. Now let's see some comparison operator. A equal to 5, B equal to 10. Now print A equal to B, A equal to B. Print, let me make the value of B 5. Now let's run this. As we can see, A equal to 5 and B equal to 5, it shows us the result true. But if we change the value of 5 with 10, then A won't be equal to B. Then it will show us false. So this is how we can use our comparison operators. Input, output and functions. How to take input? To take input we use the input function. This is the syntax of input function. Now let's see how it works. Open Colab. Let's declare a variable A equal to age equal to input. What is your age? This function will ask for age as input. Now let's call print function. Print age is age. Now let's run the program. Here it's asking for an input. Age is 18. Now let's see another example. Declare a variable named A equal to int input, enter value of A. Here we wrote int to specify the type of the variable, so it will take only integer values. Again let's declare another variable B equal to, again it will be an integer, calling input function, enter value of B, sum equal to F plus B. Print the sum of A and B is sum. Now let's run the program. It's asking for value A. Well, let's give it 5. Value B 15, and the sum is 20. A gumball machine is a real-life example of an function. The gumball machine takes money as an input and gives gumball as output. So it's a function. In Python we have some mathematical functions like cell function, floor function, round function, power function, square root function, and factorial function. Let's see these functions uses. Let's declare a variable A equal to 12.3 and a variable B equal to 4. print math dot ceil, calling ceiling function. A print math dot floor, calling floor function. Print math dot calling round, calling round function. We have to import the math library. Import math. Print math dot pow, calling power function for 2. The power function takes two parameters. The second one is the power. Print math dot sqrt, calling square root function b. Print math dot calling factorial function, factorial of b. Now let's run the program. It seems like we have an error. Oh, we have made a typing mistake. It will be math. Now let's run the program again, and it's showing us the result. Here the first one is the ceiling value of 12.3, second one is the floor value, and third one is the round value. Fourth one is power is square of 4, and the next value is square root of 4, and the last value is factorial of 4, which is 24. What is a string? A sequence of characters or symbol is called string. Let's see an example. If we declare a variable, suppose name equal to NIAJ, this is a string as it contains characters and symbols. And if we declare another variable age equal to, inside quotation, if we write 20, this is also a string because it is inside the quotation. Whatever we write inside a double quotation or single quotation is a string. Like address equal to Voiro, this is also a string. Now let's print these things. Print name, age, address. Run. We can see it's printed this, the print function printed these three strings: name, age, and address. What is concatenation? Concatenation means connecting two or more strings together. Like if I say first name equal to NIAJ, second name equal to Mahmud, and we declare a third variable full name and connect these two variables together. First name plus, also add a space, plus second name and print this full name variable, full name. This program will connect these two strings together and print the full name. Let's run the program. Here we can see it, it has connected first name and second name together. Now let's see another example of concatenation. Word1 equal to hello, word2 equal to I am, word3 equal to NIAJ. Now let's connect these three together. Sentence equal to word1 plus word2 plus word3, and print this, print word3, sorry, sentence. We can see the full sentence here. Now let's see repetition. Repetition means repeating a string multiple times. Like if we call someone's name for multiple times, name equal to Rifa, multiplication operator 10, print name. This will repeat the string Rifa 10 times. Here we can see Rifa is printed 10 times. If we change this value to 40, it will print Rifa 40 times. Now let's see what is indexing. In strings, when we make a string like hello, it appears like this: H E L L O. An index of a string means the position of these characters. Index of strings starts from 0 to n minus 1. That means the first letter's index is 0, second letter's index is 1, third letter's index is 2, fourth letter's index is 3, and the fifth letter's index is 5. Likewise, if I write N I A J, N's index is 0, I's index is 1, A's index is 2, and the index of J is 3. Now let's see a program about index. Name equal to NIAJ. Now if I print name index 0, it will print the first it will print the first character, or the character in index 0. And again, if we print the, the second index, name index 1, print name index 2 name print name index 3. It will print all the characters in this index. But if we try to print name index 4, it will throw an error, as in index 4 there is no character. Look, it has given us an error. Now talk about slicing operation or slicing of string. Here, if I print name 2, it will print ni, because I have fixed the end index in 2. So it will print the index 0 and index 1. And if I write print name colon 4, and the start is 1, it will print IAJ. Between these two index, it will print the characters between these two index. So this is string slicing. Now how do we print quotation in a string? A equal to my name is NIAJ. If we try to add a string, it will throw an error. But if we separate this with a slash, a backslash, print backslash, print a, it will print the sentence with quotation. Here we can see the quotations are printed. So if we want to print quotations, we need to use as slash before the quotation. Conditional logics. Conditional logics in Python are if, else, and elif. Let's see some example. A equal to 5 if a a a equal to 5, b equal to 5, if a equal to b, print a equal to b. Let's run this program. Here we can see it's giving us output a equal to b. So what's happening here, we are declaring two variables and giving them number and assigning them with number 5. In this line we gave a condition for checking if a is equal to b or not. If this condition is true, the statements or operation inside if will execute, and if it's false, nothing will be executed. Let's change the value of b 6 and run this program again. Here we can see nothing is shown. That means this is false. Here comes else function. Here comes else. Now we write else print a is not equal to b. Now as a and b isn't equal and this condition isn't true, it's executing the operations inside else. Thus we can see this output. Now let's see elif. Let's change this. Elif a equals a is greater than b, print a is greater than b, else print a is less than b. Now let's run this program. Here we can see it 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 has printed a is less than b. That means the first condition is false, the second condition is false. So execute it's executing the last program. If we make a equals to 7, here the first condition is false, but the second condition is true. A is greater than b. So the statements inside elif is executing. Thus we can see a is greater than b. Loops. If we want to repeat any operation or task multiple times, we use loops. In Python we have for loops and while loops. These are the syntax of for loop and while loop. Now let's see some examples. Let's declare a variable I equal to 0 for I in range 0 to 10. Print this is being printed I time. We're having an error. This is being printed range. This range will, let's change the 0 to 1, and this to 11. Now this will print this line 10 times, and if we change the range to 101, this will print this 100 times. So this is how for loop works. Now let's see another while loop. While I equal to 0, 1, while I is less than or equal to 10, print this line is being printed I time. Time. I plus I equal to I plus 1. Here we can see this is printing this line 10th time. So what is happening here? In while loop, these statements will run until this condition is false. Once this condition becomes false, the program will stop running. In here we have declared I and assigned it 1, and and if the condition is true, this is printing this line is being printed, and we are incrementing I in every loop. So while loop executes until the condition inside a while loop is false. That's why this is being printed 10 times, as every time I am incrementing I with 1, but it's less than 10. Once it becomes less than or equal to, once it becomes 11, the loop stops. Class assignments. In this class assignment, we will make a marriage eligibility program and a student grading program. Let's start coding. For the marriage eligibility program, we will declare a variable age and take int input, enter your age. If age greater than 18, we don't need to use brackets. Print you are eligible for marriage else elif age age is age is greater than or equal to 30 13. Print you are a teenager and less than age is elif age 13. Print you are a child. Now let's give age. suppose 7, it will give us you are a child, as 7 is less than 30. Now if we enter 22, it will give us you are eligible to marry, to marriage, as 22 is greater than 18. And if we enter 15, it will give us you are a teenager, because 50 is greater than 30. Now let's make our grading program. Grade equal to int input, enter your grade. If grade if grade is if grade is greater than or equal to 90, print a. Elif grade greater than or equal to 80, print b. Elif grade greater than or equal to 70, print c. Elif grade greater than or equal to 60, print d. Else print fail. Now let's run the program. If we give 88, it will give us b, as 88 is greater than or equal to 80, and it prints b. And if we give 99, it will give us a. And if we give just 9, it will give us fail. So our assignment is done. Computational thinking is a way of solving problem by thinking like a computer scientist. Parts of computational thinking are decomposition, abstraction, patterns, and algorithm. Decomposition means breaking down the large problem into smaller pieces. Abstraction means focusing only on the important informations and ignoring the irrelevant details. Patterns means finding out the similarities. Algorithm means developing a step-by-step solution for the problem. Algorithms and flowcharts. Algorithm is a step-by-step set of instructions to solve any problem. Features of algorithms are input, output, specificity means every step of an algorithm needs to be specified. Finite numbers of steps means the number of steps in an algorithm should be finite. Steps of algorithm: defining inputs, declaring variables, operations, and showing results. Flowchart. A flowchart is a visual diagram that shows the steps of an algorithm using symbols and arrows. For example, we use oval shape for start and stop, arrow to connect any shape together, parallelogram for input and output, rectangle for process or operations, diamond shape for decision making. Here we can see a simple flowchart of sum of two numbers. In this oval shape, the program starts. The program reads two variables a and b in a parallelogram. Then in rectangle it sums a and b. Again in parallelogram it prints or gives output the sum. And in oval the program stops. Data structure is a way of storing and managing data for efficient use. In Python, we have data structures like list, set, tuple, etc. Lists are ordered, mutable, and allows duplicate. Sets are unordered, mutable, and there is no index. Tuples are ordered and immutable. Let's see some example. First, let's see example of list. Fruits equal to we use square bracket in lists. Apple, banana, banana. Now let's print the list fruits. Now we can add elements in list. Now let's add another element, fruits dot append orange. Now let's print this again, print fruits. Now this will print the this will print the list with orange, as we have appended this orange in the list. Now let's see another code about set. We use third bracket in set. 1 2 3 4 5. Print set. This will print the set. Now set dot add 6. Print set. Here we can see the first set is with only 5 elements, but after adding 6 it has become 6 elemented 6 elemented list. Now let's see tuple. We use first bracket for tuple. Numbers equal to 10 20 30. Print numbers. This will print the tuple. Object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming in Python is a programming paradigm that organizes code into objects containing both data and functions. Key topics of object-oriented programming are class, a blueprint for creating object, an instance of a class, example, my car, attributes, variable inside a class that store data about the object, methods, functions inside a class that define behaviors, encapsulation, restricting direct access to data, grouping, attributes, and methods. Now let's see an example of object-oriented programming. Here we can see we have created a class named car, and then we have declared its object, and in last we called its method. So this is an example of object-oriented programming. Frameworks and libraries. Python has some famous frameworks like Django for full stack and large scale web apps, Flask for medium web apps, TensorFlow, PyTorch, scikit-learn for machine learning, Pandas for data manipulation and analysis, PyTest for scalable testing, etc.